Hi everybody, I am here with the incredible athlete that is April Zilg. And gosh, you've had a bit of a week of it, but before we go on, we'd like to send some love and prayers to a very lovely paddler called Vic Allen from Hawaii. We're here at the World Championship of our sprint. Held here in the UK, and Vic had a bit of a trauma this morning. He's in hospital, and we wish him all the best. Races have been delayed, there have been prayers said. It's an amazing community here. So, how was that? You were here, weren't you, on the scene?
I
Let's just do a little tiny bit about that.
I was. It was really heavy. Just to put yourself in anybody's situation right there. You know, you're in races in boats with your teammates. You're going all out. You never know if you're pushing hard enough, too hard. You don't want to let your teammates down, and then you want your teammates pushing too. And then what if something happens to one of your teammates? And then his wife was here on the beach when they pulled him out of the boat, and my heart went out to her, obviously, as well, because you never know. And it's just a lot of heavy energy, but I think all the paddlers, we all believe a lot in energy and the healing power of water. I know I closed my eyes and tried to channel every ounce of positive energy from the universe, as did everybody else, and everybody held their paddles high, and I think we channeled enough, because I think he's going to be all right.
I think so. Oh, you're quite emotional about this, and it's someone that I follow on social media. I think a lot of people do. He's an adaptive blind paddler called Vic Allen from Hawaii, and Vic, we send you our best love. Get well soon. What an amazing man. He'll have a big story to tell.
Yes, he will.
So, here, how's it been for you here? I mean, this is amazing that the UK is holding this World Championship for our sprints. And how have you paddled a lot this week, I guess? How have you done?
Everything has been phenomenal. I am so stoked to be here. You can see the little Olympic rings back in the background. When they announced that they were going to be doing the World Sprint Championships in the UK, I was really excited, actually. I love sprinting, and I've never really gotten the opportunity to sprint on a real sprint course with buoys and flat water and kind of a very controlled environment. So yeah, I was incredibly excited to sign up. It took a lot of work on my part to get my slot for my country and get out here. But I was able to secure the V1 Elite paddler slot and made it through with the fastest time of my preliminary rounds. And every day, that jet lag catches up with you a little bit. That's my excuse, at least.
So this amazing athlete is giving us an excuse because you were disappointed in your time, weren't you? It's not about. I mean, she won the silver. Hey, she won the silver. But you were disappointed in your time because you knew you could have gone faster. You wouldn't have won gold. Do you admit that?
Yes.
Because that girl was awesomely fast.
Yes.
But
correct.
you just, like most professional athletes, you just want. It's all about the time, isn't it?
It's all about the time.
Yeah.
I know what time I am capable of personally, and I thought with the adrenaline and the perfect course and everything, I could have posted slightly faster than what I normally do at home, but the body just was not willing that day. My best time in training still wouldn't have been enough for a gold. I'm honored and thrilled to have taken silver, but I wish it was just 2 seconds faster.
Yeah.
A 2 second faster silver I would have been fine, no complaint.
Always striving for better, which is good. Now, you are an outrigger canoeist, you are a stand-up paddleboarder, world champion. I mean, your palmarès is amazing. You've won back-to-back Carolina Cups, haven't you? This is where I know April from. We did a crazy interview back in 2019,
Yeah,
I think.
that's correct.
And at the APP World Tour. You won the first APP World Tour at Santa Monica, and you won the back-to-back Carolina Cup, which is a big race, isn't it? It's a really big race, and it was one of your first races, wasn't it, about 8 years ago?
In 2011 was the first time I did the Carolina Cup. I entered, I held my paddle backwards, and I did not finish.
And look where she is now. You are now. You've done amazingly well, and you admit you were the couch potato.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
And now you've got so much knowledge and experience under your belt. We were really lucky enough to have April do 2 clinics for 20 very happy paddlers at the Shack Lagoon. So thank you so much to Skip at the Shack. And we hosted it at SUPjunkie, so we were very lucky to have you. And oh my goodness, what those paddlers got out of that! They were really happy, weren't they? April brings a great vibe, not only with her knowledge. It's all very scientific, but it's all you bring it back to people like me who are not into the sciences and everything. So we all learnt a huge amount, and I think you loved the venue and the paddlers and the vibe.
Absolutely. Anytime I get to share what I've learned in the last decade, through my blunders, I have made every mistake in the book. I have overeaten, undereaten, overtrained, undertrained, trained in the wrong zones, had the wrong mindset. I've tried everything. And if there's just one bit of knowledge or a tip that I can pass on to other paddlers that keeps them paddling longer and healthier, and keep their shoulders healthy, keep their minds healthy, keep their insides and their the capillaries capillaries healthy. I just want everyone to live a long, healthful paddling life. That's why I got into paddling, was to improve my health, not take away from it. So.
Yeah, and we had a ball. We really did have a ball. And Skip at the Shack, the lagoon there, if you haven't been there, please go there. It is just the perfect location. It was a busy day, wasn't it? But we had some really, really happy paddlers who've gone away with all this knowledge. So there should be some much better paddlers, and they'll be healthier as well. It's all about a lot of it is about the health, so staying healthy. What's next for you?
After the V6 500 meter races, the club racing here today, I head back home and hit Oklahoma City for the World Cup hosted by the International Canoe Federation. And then based on my results in that, I will plan out the rest of my year.
So if you win that World Cup, what does that give you?
That will get me the trip to Poland to compete at the ICF World Championships.
So we are all going, fingers crossed please, because we would like April to be there, because we're going to Poland, so we're going to support the British team. And we would love you to be there, but obviously we understand if you can't, because it's it's all about your schedule, isn't it? It's a tricky life for a pro athlete, isn't it? You're sponsored to a certain extent, but you've got to plan your events. And the APP Tour has been changed this year, which is unfortunate. We understand why it's been changed, but that in itself causes issues, doesn't it? Because you've trained for certain events, and then what do you do? How does that impact on someone like you, April?
When you have a good aerobic base, which all of our paddlers in the clinic learned about the other day, you have a little bit more wiggle room. But at the end of the day, if you are peaking for a key event, changes would impact that heavily. Luckily, luckily and unluckily, you have to prioritize your events. Not every single race can be a priority. Like number one, you cannot train and peak and hold a peak. It's physiologically impossible. Anybody who is that dominant is a unicorn or on something. So you're gonna naturally undulate. You're gonna have cycles of high performance and dips where you're just naturally recovering. And I just think that holding your base and relying on that for fitness, I can pull off decent performances. But I just can't get so caught up in the result. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm going to win. You're just going to see how your body is willing to do that day.
Yeah.
And as long as you're having a good time and doing things for the right reasons, that's enough,
that's
right?
The most important
it's
thing.
Just unfortunate if you are relying on some sort of the income from like the World Tour events. Luckily, events like this, there's no income. It's just outflow.
It is what it is.
It's a pouring out. The burden of international travel on the body, on the wallet, it is real. It's very real for international athletes, and moreover on the environment. A lot of times it doesn't really sit well with me to travel so often during the year, because airline flights, it's one of the least environmentally friendly things out there. So I would much rather do fewer events in a season, but until I can find a way to make paddling, a sustainable career and lifestyle outside of international competition, I will still remain on tour and on these events. So.
Yeah, well, we're really grateful to see you, and we hope to see you back in the UK, but we've been talking about our other love of adventuring, and this is something that you would like to get into. I am passing over to April Joe Mosley's new book, Stand Up Paddleboarding in Great Britain, because it's a beautiful book, and it really shows Joe's absolute love for stand up paddleboarding. And I hope that it gives you some ideas of where to travel in the UK when you come over next. We're going to be doing hopefully we've talked about a road tour.
I want a whole tour.
Clinics.
I want to paddle everywhere.
Adventuring. I'll take you to Scotland.
Yes.
What do you do for fun? What away from the water? Is there something that you do for fun that you can tell us about?
Oh, absolutely. Every day is fun. I wash dishes. No, I'm kidding. I cook food. I cook healthy food. I love cooking. I love anything where I'm working with my hands and just kind of letting the mind relax. Cooking's one of those things. I don't follow recipes. I just flow into it, which I find finding the flow in just grabbing random ingredients out of the refrigerator and making food. It's actually good training to fall into flow when it comes to paddling. The other thing would be gardening. I try to grow as much of my own food as possible. Just getting my hands in the dirt, pulling weeds. Excellent cross training again.
Yep, bending, stretching.
Yep, bending, stretching, and just being out in nature with my hands in the dirt. And it doesn't take a lot to make you happy. It's pretty minimalist and very simple life that I live. I'm either on the water, in my garden, or in my kitchen.
Perfect.
And that's it.
Girl after my own heart. Well, April, we wish you well today. You're racing very soon. Everything has been delayed, obviously, because of what happened this morning. You are racing. Today is all about the clubs, isn't it? Which is really lovely. It's all been about the elite paddlers, which you are one of those. But now it's all about the clubs, and there is a great club vibe here. We've got some great teams from, Great Britain. We wish you well here today. We hope you smash it, of course, but maybe don't beat the Brits.
Yeah.
And we really look forward to seeing you at either, Poland or the APP tour in London, or on our adventures.
One of these things.
Please follow April. She's an absolute dude. She's got a lot of good stuff under her belt, and she's a diamond person. So, April, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everybody.